Okay, I'm very excited to have with me the start of the season coming up. Danny Greaves, how you doing?
Yeah, all good. Thanks, Scott. Delighted to be talking to you.
I know it is a privilege. We'll see how we go. So, just thought we'd have a little chat with you. Just obviously pre-season now complete, which has gone fairly well in terms of performances, but obviously a little strange end. How do you feel like it's gone so far?
Yeah, I think you've summed it up there. Performances have been really good. Obviously, the first couple of games, easing our way back into it after so long with no football, you expect that, but still some good performances and good results in there. And then the last couple of weeks it hasn't been ideal, really. I think I jinxed it when talking to other managers who've had a torrid pre-season, saying how well ours had gone. No players isolating, no players with COVID, all of our games on. And then we hit the halfway point of pre-season, and then things started to go wrong, with games being called off. The last week in particular, where we had the Taunton game called off late, rearranged the game, and then subsequently that was called off on the Friday. Not ideal when you're trying to gear up for a perfect pre-season to set you up for the start of the season, but it is what it is. We manage it, and we're ready to go.
So how have you done that then with those missing games? Has it been extra training or players just enjoying a bit more rest?
Certainly not the latter. To be honest, it's been quite a heavy program in pre-season with training and games. So we purposely built in a week without games, and that's kind of bitten us on the backside a little bit because it's now been 2 weeks without a game. But we've kept the players topped up. We trained on Friday night. The players were brilliant. Everybody turned up when they could be getting ready to enjoy their weekends. So we had everybody in on the Friday night, had a good training session, bit of team bonding, a bit of food on the Friday night. And then this week is business as normal with training Tuesday, Thursday, getting ready for the Saturday. So we're well prepared, and the players are all fit and firing and ready to go.
So I'm guessing there's still places up for grabs, or have you got your kind of lineup already thought out for?
I think there are probably a couple of areas where we're still debating. Obviously, we need to do our homework on Highworth as well, which may sway things one way or another. But yeah, I would say probably 80% of the team is finalised. We would have liked Friday's game just to cement a few things in our own minds, but obviously we haven't got that now. So we've got a good squad, and whatever 11 we pick out, I'm sure they're more than capable of going on and doing a job. And then the boys on the bench, who will be extremely disappointed, will come on and make a difference when they're called upon. So yeah, we're in a fortunate position. We've got a good squad. It's just our job now to pick the right team.
So I know you well enough now that when you say do your homework on Highworth, you've already done your homework on Highworth. I know that. So what do you know about the opposition, if you can share anything? What is it that you're looking for?
Yeah, I think they try and go under the radar a little bit, Highworth, and try and play everything down. And you look on their social media, it's all very jokey and bantery. I think they do try and play things down a little bit. They've got some very good, experienced players. They're an established Southern League side now, and then their pre-season, particularly looking at some of their more recent results, they beat Swindon Supermarine, and I really like Swindon Supermarine. I think they're a very good Southern Premier side, and Highworth beat them 1-0. So that tells you everything you need to know. They've got an exciting strike force, Edinburgh, and they've just signed, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong now, but Barcelios, I think is how you pronounce it, the ex-Thatcham centre forwards. He had a really good non-league career. They've got the lad Parsons, so they've got a really good forward line, and yeah, they're one of those. They got players who've been with the club a long time as well, who've grown up with the club, so they give everything for it, and they're going to turn up to us with absolutely nothing to fear, and that's very dangerous. So we know we've got to be right on it. But we've had them watched. We've done our homework. We're prepared.
You've mentioned in previous interviews where for the last couple of seasons where we've dropped down the division, that people might see us sort of a scalp to be had and sort of raising their game for that. Do you still think that's the case this season, or is it now we're kind of in this league now? I know it's not the complete, but it's the third season. People looking elsewhere, or do you think that's still very much the case?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I guess we'll have to ask the other teams that. I certainly see us as a team that should be challenging at the top end of the table and fighting for promotion, but very respectful of the opposition, of course. But I think teams would enjoy coming to us. I mean, we get a decent fan base for the league. The surface is 9 times out of 10 is in good condition. A lot of work has gone into it over the last couple of years, and it's a big club at this level of football. So I think we are there to be shot at, and I think teams will enjoy coming to us.
So you say obviously the crowd and everything else like that. We're obviously gearing up to have the kind of back to BA11 day that we're really pleased that IMS have been involved with, and obviously buying a ticket for everyone that wants to come to the game. At this point where we've just gone through sort of 400, approaching the sort of 450 mark on people claiming those tickets in advance, and also we expect more on the day as well. We know that Highworth are putting on a good fair amount of people to come on the coach and everything as well. So are the players buying into this? Have they sort of seen it? Are they sort of aware of what the club are doing? Is it are they excited about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've spoken to the boys about it. They've all seen it being advertised, and it's an amazing thing. I think, like you just said, massive thank you to IMS. Really good gesture. I think it's great timing. With it being the first game of the season, coming out the back of, well, we're still in the pandemic, aren't we? But coming out the back of the pandemic, where people have gone through hardship over the last 18 months, sorry, since COVID hit. People have lost loved ones, people have lost jobs, and although this doesn't take away all of that bad feeling and those tough times, I think it's going to be a really good atmosphere at the club on that day. And I think just hopefully we can put on a performance and put smiles back on people's faces for that hour and a half of football. That's what we're aiming to do.
So I think during your tenure, the highest home crowd has been 455. So we're hopefully on schedule to go past that quite comfortably, and then obviously look to sort of challenge that. So we've launched the sort of challenge 618, which is try and get 618 people in the ground for Saturday. So does that how does it make difference with the crowd being there, being so strong?
To be honest, it makes a huge difference, and you see it on those games that you've just mentioned there. I'm not sure what was that, Poulton or Thatcham, or when we get over that 400 mark, you can feel the difference in the ground. You can feel the atmosphere. You can feel, it almost feels like another level of game when there's that many people in the crowd, and you can see the players rise to it. You can see the intensity in everybody before walking out and as they walk out. So I just think everybody ups their levels a little bit. So yeah, it's going to be a really good occasion. Our players will be well up for it. I'm sure Highworth, when they step out onto the pitch and have a look around and see hopefully 600 plus in the crowd, they'll raise their game as well, and it should make for a good occasion.
Definitely. So that occasion is, you say about jinxing things earlier. You've been on 99 competitive games for the club for what seems like 99 games. How does it mean anything now, or you just want that to be a landmark that's to just go by? It's been sort of hanging over your head for a while.
Yeah, to be honest, it does mean something to me. I've really enjoyed my time at the club. I want to be here for many more years and many more games to come. I hope the next 100 comes a lot quicker than the last 100, but it does mean something to me. I think obviously being relegated, want to get the club back up, and that's my aim and ambition. So I certainly don't want to stop at 100. I want to try and kick on, but yeah, it does mean a lot, and I want to try and finish that 100 with a win.
Fantastic. Well, that just leaves a couple of fan questions that have come in. So obviously, that bit topical in the media at the moment. Lots of transfers flying around. So yeah, if you had the choice to sign one of these sort of big names that was flying around, whether it's Messi, Kane, Grealish, or anything like that, who would be the perfect player to stick in our squad? Obviously, all of them, but for yourself,
Yeah,
who would you
free,
go?
what a front three that would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Other than the free transfers, who would you be dropping your 100 million on?
Out of those three, I would probably say Messi. Been there, done it. Win games on his own, score and assist. I think if Ronaldo was in the market, there might be a slightly different, more challenging debate there. But I think out of those three that we mentioned there, 100% it'd be Messi all day long. He would get the attendance over 600 on Saturday, wouldn't he, if he was with us?
Oh, definitely. Well, to be honest, probably all of them. I think we'd all be cancelling plans everywhere, wouldn't we? But yeah, but we've already got a Kane, so probably don't need that one.
True. Very true.
Another question is that on the same similar sort of theme, that if you were to pick a Premier League side that you could slot into now and manage, is there one that you would like to pick the reins up at, or is there?
Yeah, I'm probably a bit biased here because I'm a Leeds fan, but I absolutely love Leeds. The players, the way they're coached, the way they play, the way they little clips that you see of them training, the way they train, high intensity, really fit team, want to go and attack teams, work so hard out of possession, is everything that I'd want to see in one of my teams. So yeah, taking my biased Leeds hat off, I would still probably, sitting here as a neutral person, I would still probably say Leeds, because it just ticks all the boxes that I want to see in my team.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a Leeds fan, actually.
There you go.
I
I didn't mention it when we were in the Championship, League One and League Two.
Now that it's back for promotion. And the final question we got is, obviously during the games, you're there, you're in the zone, the fans are there. Obviously the fans shout a lot of stuff, probably give you quite a lot of advice. So just wondering whether, do you hear it during a match, and actually has anyone ever shouted out anything that's useful to help you?
Oh God, the last time I got some advice was from Asa. I remember that there's a picture flying around when we played Staines, I think it was, away from home in the Southern Prem, and I was talking to him. I had the team sheet in my hand. It looked like he was giving me tactical advice. We ended up losing that game, so that's the last time I speak to Asa before a game. But no, you do hear little bits and pieces, and it's difficult sometimes because you want to try and take the emotion out of it when you're making your decisions. But you do get a sense of what the crowd are feeling, and you know yourself when you're watching a game on TV. You often get a sense of what needs to happen in a game, and what the fans want is usually a true reflection of what the game actually needs. So do hear it, some bad shouts, some good shouts. As always, like everyone's got an opinion, and some are good, some are not. Yeah, we hear it all. Try and take the emotion out of it, and just stay clear in our minds in terms of what we're seeing on the pitch and what we need to do.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I'm sure actually where most of us are on the other side, you can't hear what we're saying anyway. So it just becomes a noise.
Dale, the chairman's not in the dugout anymore, but I can still hear him from the other side of the pitch.
Is it ever tempting to look up at the director's box to see you touching his hands? Or
only if we're like 3 or 4-0 up, I might have a little look over.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Danny, that's been brilliant. Thank you again for your time and sparing it. I know that you're obviously very busy with this week and with training and everything. So thank you very much for sharing your time with us. And if I don't see you before Saturday, hopefully it goes really well.
Yeah.
Come on, your Robins. And let's see if we can start with points.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Been a long old wait, 9 months or so, just over 9 months. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Hopefully a big crowd will be there, and hopefully we can get the result that we all want.